Hi everyone. Only one person requested this video, so I am doing this video for this one person, and I hope I don't forget anything because I'm going to do this in Spanish as well. I have all day, people. Okay, so I just came out of work, but see, the story went like this. Because this is about losing weight, what helped me to lose weight, what were the tips that I used and tricks that I used in my journey, and I'm still on that journey, working to get fit and more healthy, and it's mainly because of health now. It was at one point in my life, it was because of looks, and it's not the way to go. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. At the age of 6 or 8, I realized that I was actually overweight, or that I was different. And I did not exactly know how to change that of me, because as a kid, you don't know. You just know to eat whatever they put in front of you, but you do not, or they do not tell you, or how do I say this? I didn't know that by sneaking treats and candy or other food when my parents weren't watching, that would cause me to gain weight. And it wasn't just regular food, it was junk food. So at the age of 6 or 8 is when I overheard someone tell my Mami Chaito, my grandmother on my mom's side, that I was ugly because I was fat. And this is the first time that I ever realized that I was different. So moving on to the years, I moved over to Massachusetts, and over there they tend to eat with a lot more oil, so my body really didn't know how to process it at first. Also, we were stuck inside for many months, like inside the house. We really wouldn't go out, we wouldn't go walking because we were new in the area. Not only that, it was a lot, like over there it's winter for who knows how many months, and my weight high peaked by the time I was like 12 or 13, and I was a 5th grader. I realized that I was weighing 205 pounds. I don't know if it was in how old I was. I'm bad with age, I'm sorry. But I was in 5th grade because I remember weighing myself, and I was 205 pounds. And that blew my mind. But that still didn't stop me and say, hey, what can I do to lose weight? I didn't even ask because I really... the way I looked, I was actually always the last one in PE to get chosen for teams, because obviously not only my appearance, but I was a lot slower than everyone else that was a lot skinnier, because you know you don't have to run with so much weight or so much, you know. So my self-esteem went downhill. I mean, actually I didn't even have one, but my highest weight was at age 15 when I was in high school, and I weighed 261 pounds. I go to California, and I had this one job where everything I did was walking. I became a forklift driver, and I was always on my feet. So I would eat whatever I wanted and never gain weight. Why? Because I was always on my feet, walking from one place to another. I mean, forklift job, warehouse, yeah. So the second I lost that job, I gained a bunch of weight because I kept eating the same way and I wasn't walking as much. This is when I actually decided to lose weight. I went back up to 255 pounds this time, not 261, but 255, and this broke my heart. I felt the worst. This is when I really did get serious about losing weight. And at first I sometimes like did it the wrong way, because this is not something you should do. Do not do this. I completely restricted myself, and for 2 or 3 days straight, I drank water with spinach, no sweeteners, no sugars, nothing, just water with spinach. And yes, of course, I lost a lot of weight, and a lot of it was water weight. So I almost passed out a few times, and then I started going like, no. One of the biggest tips that I did do when I started doing it right after that, or after those 3 days, I started doing healthier food. I started eating more veggies, limiting my carbs, and they were not like carbs like white rice, and maybe some people eat that, and if that works for you, that's great. I would eat brown rice. I would eat but it was like serving size. That was my biggest thing. Serving size mattered. I would make sure that I measured everything out until I was able to see it. I would eat chicken and make sure that it didn't have the skin. And I would eat a lot of green vegetables. I would try to limit myself and kind of stayed away a little, and maybe this was wrong, but I stayed away from starchy vegetables. Things like corn, potatoes, a lot of those things I stayed away from completely. And then I would eat fish. Like my main meals were like salmon and asparagus, spinach and chicken breast and things like that. I would completely limit myself to like carbs only once a day, and I would drink a protein shake in the morning, a protein shake at night, my tea, my vitamins. And I lost a bunch of weight just from eating healthy, which is what they say is right. 80% what you eat, 20% how you exercise. And to exercise, I mean. I, in that time, did not let my mom serve me the food. And it's not that my mom cooks unhealthy. It's not that my mom tells you, hey, get seconds. But it's the amount that you eat. Sometimes your mom thinks, hey, this is a healthy amount. And then I did a lot of research. I was eating way too much. And I knew, and I had clear in my mind that if I wanted a difference, I had to eat differently. The portions were a lot different. The calories, I had to be in somewhat of a deficit. And I ended up plateauing at, I believe it was 223 around there, 230, no, 222, which is when I met Marlon. And you know what? As a female, as a woman or a lady, that's going to do that to you. You have your time of the month where you high peak, and because of your hormones, it'll go up and down, and also what you eat, and if you eat so much sodium, and if you eat, and guys just go like, yeah, I'm gonna eat right, and all they do is they start off at 190, they go down 10 pounds in 1 week, and it's like, girls, you go like, oh yeah, you went up one pound, and then you go back down 2, and then you go 3, and it's like, but we get our period, so that sometimes has a lot to do with it. I would weigh myself a long time ago, like every day, and I would get stressed out and worked out if I didn't lose a pound or 2 or 3 in 1 week. And you have to realize that as a girl, that's going to happen. That's normal. I plateaued at 222, which is when I met Marlon.
And Marlon and I liked each other at first sight, and we started going out, and we became boyfriend and girlfriend. Actually, he never asked me to be his girlfriend. I tell him till this day, but he just figured, hey, you're my girlfriend.
But that's not the point. So, I was so, like, I would hurt myself a lot of the time. Do not do this to you. Love yourself more than anything. Every day I would stand in the mirror and say how gross I was. And it's something that it sucks. And then you have to deal with it every day. Don't do that to you, because when you hurt yourself, your self-esteem goes down. You see like yourself, like it could cause even body dysmorphia at the end. Because I ended up weighing at my lowest 169, and I saw the same girl that I did when I was 260 pounds. Actually, sometimes I stand in front of the mirror and I see the same thing. But I begin to exercise, because I realized that you don't just lose weight. You can lose weight not exercising, just eating right. But you need to help your body. You need to work out your muscles. You need to build muscles so that you can have lean body mass, because you're not only just gonna lose the fat and not build muscle. That doesn't make sense. Like, what are you gonna be left with? I get here to Houston, and all of a sudden I gain a bunch of weight. And before my wedding, I actually, for some reason, somehow, I don't know, my wedding dress was kind of loose on me, but I had gained probably like 5-10 pounds, I think, due to stress, or 10, something like that. I don't know. But my wedding dress was loose, which was weird. I come back, and I had to work a lot with myself, because I gained weight, and I went up to 200 pounds after my wedding. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm back to how I started. I got stressed out. I was freaking out. And I felt like crap. And I was like, oh, doing all this cardio, burning, I'm not kidding you, 600 to 1,000 calories per day. Not even a pound. And I'm like, why is it that I have done this before? But then I remembered I didn't only do that. I actually used my weight to exercise before too. Now it was only a cardio. It was sometimes push-ups, sit-ups, things like that. And I was like, maybe I should get into weight training. That's what I started to do. So I went down from that to 182. And it wasn't as fast because this time I didn't do it not wrong, but I didn't do it to where I was restricting myself, saying no to everything, which is what I used to do. Sometimes I did treat myself, but at the same time you have to realize the older you get, the slower your metabolism is. So I began to rework myself mentally and emotionally, and I begin to exercise, not only cardio sometimes, walk my dog another time. I was a little bit more active, just make sure, but I was doing weightlifting a lot. And that is helping me currently to tone up my body and to burn fat, because that's also what it does. Misconception out there that it just works out your muscle and you get ripped and fit and like all like bulky and things, and that's not true. Actually, I've gone down in inches, and I think I look better at 182 than I did when I first lost, weight and went down to 170. And the reason for that is because the same clothes that I wore at that weight or 100 are actually fitting me right now. And it's like, and not only that, some of them are loose. Like this shirt is pretty loose on my stomach. Right here it's fine, but it's really loose on my stomach. It's actually kind of like, this used to be, completely stretched out, and it's actually, not tight at all. And I'm seeing that even though I'm not at the weight that I want yet, I'm not only not doing it for aesthetic goals now, I'm also doing it for health. We need to rewire ourselves to why we need to lose weight or why we need to be at a healthy weight. It's to be healthy, not because I want to look good. I mean, hey, that's an extra, that's a plus. But be healthy so that your body can take you to 80, 90, 100 years old, rather than not even making it to 50 or 60 because you're overweight and dying. So this is just my tips of what I did. Some of it, I don't know. I hope I didn't leave anything else. Oh, actually I did. So, the main things I did was I limited carbs. I ate a lot of vegetables, mainly green, and some of them cauliflower and things like that, and lettuce. Lettuce because it fills you. I ate lean proteins. I served my own plate so I could know the portions. I slept my 8 hours. I drank a bunch of water, 8 to 9, 10 cups of water a day. I said no to a lot of sweets. I have my cheat meal, not cheat day, cheat meal. And they're still serving sizes. I eat a lot of fiber. I'm not scared of fats anymore. I do not eat 2 hours before bedtime. That still counts. I drink tea or coffee with sweeteners. If that's not your choice, that's fine. But I don't add sugar or creamer to the coffee. And for a snack, I usually get a Greek yogurt. And if I want something sweeter, I actually do add, some type of sweetener. You don't have to if you don't want to. And I actually also have another one where I make this lime juice, with lime and sweetener again, and some frozen fruit, and it's refreshing, especially on summer. Those are my tips. And always motivate yourself to continue, and don't weigh yourself every day, because that's what I was doing and it was mentally hurting me. All right, guys, love you guys, take care. Mwah. Thank you for chatting with me.